Hey everybody, how is everyone doing? Welcome back to GSTalks. My name is Chris, I'm the host, and today's topic is all about TV shows we don't talk about. Now we split that up into two parts. The first part is shows that we don't like that nobody should ever talk about, and the second part is shows that we do like that nobody talks about. So kind of a flip coin there in that situation. We also, after the commercial break, we talk about San Diego Comic-Con. So superhero talk, all about that, comic books, all that good stuff. Be sure to like and subscribe to GSTV Studios so you can come back for more quality content. And also, all the fellas are back, Justin, Ben, Scott, and all those guys. So stay tuned. Here we go. Enjoy.
I wanna be the very best.
No one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause.
Pokemon, gotta catch 'em.
Welcome back to GSTalks, everybody. They're singing Pokemon apparently for some reason. We got Scott, Justin, and Ben back, and Scott. And Reviews and Reviews are doing good. Did you review anything, or are you going to be reviewing something tonight?
Going to be reviewing Ozark tonight, that new Netflix show. Go watch it, but my review is going to be awesome. Jason Bateman.
Justin, what are you and I working on?
Holmes University 5.
And you have a music video in development, don't you?
Wait, what?
I was developing a music video for a friend for his film project.
Is he a rapper?
He is a rapper. MC DMK out of Everett. So just keep an eye out for it.
And Ben, you've been currently working on
Doctor Who.
Shutter Time. Ooh. Yeah. Wait, I have to emphasize the Shattered Time so BBC doesn't go, yeah, we're suing your American butts.
I don't know. BBC's been always really true to all of their fandoms.
Actually, yeah, they do respect their fan fictions a lot. And like Big Finish, they made canon.
Yep. Hey. Free speech. It's a thing.
It is indeed.
In this country, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say not in Canada and England.
Or North Korea.
Actually, England. They're the UK. They're England specifically. Are they not? They're leaving UK, right?
They already left the UK.
They already left the UK.
Brexit.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
You didn't know about
England is no longer a part of the EU.
Okay, I went England's longer part of the UK. That makes no sense.
One thing that Chris and I talked about earlier is Cal exit. That California is now officially moving forward with the seceding from the United States.
They will fail
It's a bad
because they
idea.
don't
You told me that
realize
they
so
asked
many things.
Yeah, they're
Washington and Oregon to be part of it.
No.
Tone it down a little.
I'm sorry, but just quick politics. No matter what happens, if someone asks Washington to leave, what's going to happen is Washington's going to cut down the Cascade line. Everything east of the Cascades will become part of Idaho, and Seattle, Everett, and Tacoma can do whatever the hell they're going to do.
and then the United States can say, yeah, you know, we're just going to blow you up now.
Not even blow you up, just economically destroy you.
Just strangle them economically and resource-wise.
They'll have 2 years before they're out of resources that they can use.
Okay.
Anyways.
well, moving on from that main topic. Well, before we get to that, let's talk about real quick a little bit more of Doctor Who before we get to the main topic.
Shattered Time.
It's going into the way. Ben, you and Ben are, and Rachel and Sam and Nameless Actor will be wrapping up.
I was going to say, we don't want to reveal who a certain villain of our Season 1 arc is yet, but he's awesome. I love him. I've wanted to work with him for literally like 10 years now, and
good.
this was the
It's good.
project. We said, it's time.
Hey, buddy, if you're watching, I do like your headshot. It's quite professional.
Indeed. All right, main topic for today. We all watch TV, right?
No, never.
Netflix.
I do.
I have no idea what you're talking about. What is
love
television?
TV.
I'm from the Amish country.
I mean,
I actually am partial to radio dramas myself.
They are good.
Indeed, you are.
Actually, I am.
And let's face it, anything that's worth watching is online.
I actually watch it on TV. I'm old school.
I'm a real American.
That's how we say broke in Washington.
Hey, I pay for Xfinity every freaking month.
I'm mostly
Shiznit
Netflix and
is
Hulu
expensive.
myself. I mean, I do have DirecTV, but like I don't ever watch TV.
I watch shows week to week and then go, dang, I can't binge this. But it's how it's supposed to be done.
I mean, we're at an age now, though, where you can go, wait, there's a new season of what? Sweet. It's on Netflix? Oh, even better. I didn't even know they were filming.
And then just binge it.
Like, no joke, I stopped watching Doctor Who after the Centurion
Really?
arc. I stopped watching. Not because I didn't like it. I just got too busy. And then they've, all but
That's
the
like
most
4
latest
seasons later now.
That means I have 80 episodes to binge watch when I get home.
Well, I was
Get
going to
it.
say, I would hope
Get it.
you are the doctor.
Anyways, what I was trying to get into before you guys went off your topic is that we all watch TV for the most part. But and we all have our shows that we do like, and people
course.
praise and don't praise, and that's a whole different topic altogether. But what about TV shows that nobody talks about anymore? That are, let's start with bad before you go into the good. What are some shows that we want to forget about? Ben.
He's got something in mind, but he doesn't want to say it. I see it on his face.
Honestly, what I don't like are the current cartoons, and here's why. I'm not big on Star versus the Forces of Evil. I'm not big.
Wait. What is that? I don't
So
know what that is.
basically, it's about a magical princess who comes from a separate dimension and fights the forces of evil. And while they tried to copy Adventure Time with good child humor with big adult undertones,
Okay.
the undertones come out much more strongly in a negative way, in my opinion.
I think that's the thing is today's cartoons in general just aren't good. They have good writers, but like I think that the style and direction they're going towards is not good at all.
Honestly, I feel more the tweeny cartoons, if that's a word.
Like
regular show?
like pre-teenage
Yeah,
years.
the pre-teenage age
The tweenies,
shows.
the tweenies.
They are honestly focusing too much on young 20-year-olds. And that
I can see
makes
that.
the cartoon suffer, in my opinion.
I don't watch any of the cartoons, so I honestly have no bias. But like, I just hear here and there.
Honestly, it's the shows you go, oh, a stoner would watch that. And you watch it and go, I can see what you're trying to do, but this would be better as a drama or a sitcom or something
Right.
much more funded than something Nickelodeon can do.
Justin, you got something?
shows
we don't talk about that are bad.
that are bad.
like we like to forget.
Oh goodness. I really can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Oh come on, it's gonna be one show.
My Little Pony.
That's
But see,
that's too big a strong fan base for me to
Strong
say.
fan base, and
It may
has-
not be my cup of tea, but it's too big of a fan base for me to really comment on it.
Do you want me to go to Scott before you?
Yeah, go to Scott.
Okay,
I'll come up with something.
All right. So shows that we're talking about that just they're not really that popular, and we want them to go away.
shows in general. Like
Yeah, shows in general, but they're
history.
not. But in general, that they're just not that popular, and we want them to go away. Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh God,
no.
Fear the Walking Dead.
Say it, Scott. Say
I've
it.
forgotten
Oh.
that existed until this
I'll
moment.
preach to you, son. Fear the Walking Dead is
Terrible.
absolutely awful.
Complete garbage.
Hold on. Good story. That's about it.
No, it doesn't even have a
No.
good story
No,
because they
It's-
ripped it off of other things.
No, I mean like the story they were trying to do.
They were attempting to do something, yes. They failed on every level. And their goal was to just say cinematic universe for the sake of cinematic universe. And it doesn't make sense. The whole show as a whole falls completely flat.
Well, honestly, if I can chime in here for a minute. You talk about Fear the Walking Dead. Honestly, I think the current Walking Dead stuff is very
Just awful.
it's not great. I mean, once Negan showed up, show's dead.
I honestly
'Cause
haven't
otherwise-
liked Walking Dead since
No
season-
spoilers here though.
Okay, all right. Here's what I'm gonna say about the reason why I give so much crap to Walking Dead in general is because it follows a formula, and after a while, it gets boring. That formula is they go on the road, they find a safe place, they stay safe. Something happens, Rick loses his mind, and then the process starts all over again. And it's the same stuff over and over and over again.
It's like how there's people who are warmed up to the fact that the Spider-Man plots to any Spider-Man film are the exact same freaking movie every time.
That's true.
Yes.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Homecoming essentially is the
But-
same Spider-Man movie over and over again.
Well, to be fair, with The Walking Dead, how it's going is it's following the source material, which is the same reason that Dawn of Justice flopped. Because it stayed true to the dialogue and the
Define
message.
flop, because it made quite a bit of money back.
Flop as in super nerd response. All right, so super nerd.
Negative. I wouldn't call that a flop. I call that just negative feedback
It is
from the
negative
nerd
feedback.
community.
And here's what it is: the nerd community went, "Oh," but
Then
they
they
followed the storyline. But then regular Joe and Jane on the street went, "That movie was horrible," but they didn't appreciate the background story. Anyone going into Dawn of Justice or who watches The Walking Dead for the story goes, okay, so this next season, this next movie is going to be dry. It's going to be so dry, I almost don't want to watch it, but I know the good stuff is coming.
But they're making it dry for the sake of saying, well, it's TV and it's slower paced. It's them trying to be pretentious and boost their own ego. But Fear the Walking Dead is so lazy, they don't even try in terms of the story structure. It's like, oh, randomly they're just now in Mexico or something. Yeah, sure, I guess. and they don't care. And it was supposed to be the origin story, like day zero kind of thing of zombies, and it just blah.
It's a good summary. You got something now?
I do have something that does irritate me. I don't even know if it got renewed for season 2 or not, but it's the Lethal Weapon show.
Oh.
Now it's
Taken did.
You know what's funny?
What?
Taken got renewed for season 2.
But why?
It's averaging 6.7 million viewers.
That many people want to watch a train wreck?
Yeah, and guess what? Nobody likes it except for like the casual audiences. But yes,
so sorry.
Taken got renewed, and I think Lethal Weapon got renewed for season 2, if I remember.
Hold on. Does Liam Neeson watch Taken?
I don't think he does.
Then
Why
it's
wouldn't
not worth watching.
Okay.
It's some weird knockoff, dude.
So, what's just funny you say that because my dad actually loves Lethal Weapon, this show.
Why?
He loves the Rush Hour show, too. which I think goes
Excuse
on
me?
it.
Wait, there's a
does.
Rush Hour show?
Yeah.
Why do these exist?
That did not make a season 2. I'm positive they did not get
Yeah.
renewed for season
Well,
2.
I enjoyed the first couple episodes of the Rush Hour series because it was just basically a retake.
Is
retell
Jackie
of the
Chan
movie.
there?
No.
Then it's not worth watching.
If Bill, also Bill Paxton tragically died for
Rest in
Training
peace.
Day, but again, nobody wanted Training Day either. But those are shows that no one talks about that somehow get enough views to get renewed for season 2. Transporter had like 3 seasons. What?
Oh, God.
is
Let me-
that?
let me-
You had to bring that
let me
up.
chime
I don't even know what you're talking
Let me-
about.
Transporter, the TV show,
It was on
I don't know what
TNT,
Transporter
bro.
is.
the
Jason
Jason Statham action movies.
You've never seen Transporter? Like,
No.
watch
Oh,
the
they're
first.
terrible Euro action movies.
Watch the first one's good. To hell with you. The first one's good. Everything beyond that, you
All right,
can.
all right, let's
you
move
can-
along here. I'm going to say what I'm going to say now for TV shows I want to forget.
Go ahead, Chris.
So, just a disclaimer, I've never really been a big fan of Star Trek. You know that, and I'm sure you know that.
Yep.
So, my first kind of introduction to try to get into it, because I want to watch it chronologically, was the show Enterprise.
Which one?
No, the
Enterprise.
Enterprise with Scott
Enterprise.
Bakula.
Oh, that's a good one.
Really? You like Enterprise?
I started with Enterprise, and that's why.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
started with
You
it
see,
too.
that's fair. 'Cause
That's the only reason.
I didn't get
me,
into it.
me and Chris last week we went to the Museum of Pop Culture and we went
in
to the
Seattle.
Star Trek exhibit in Seattle, and I told him that there is a fan base of people who watch Enterprise and they either really like it or they really hate it, and there's no in between.
Right. It did. I mean, I've seen like bits and pieces of the original with William Shatner and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like that at all. I don't know if it was supposed to or supposed to not. It just felt like a really bad soap opera at times.
Well, with Enterprise, the one thing they did new that's different is they had seasonal arcs as opposed to it being episodic, which has been every other Star Trek show.
No matter what you say about Star Trek, they always have a big social change with them, and they really do create the base work for upcoming TV shows. I mean, Star Trek was the first one to have an interracial kiss. They were the first one to have an interspecies kiss. They were the first one to address racial lines. They're a really big social show.
Yeah, racial bigotry, sexism. That Star Trek has always been an innovator.
What it means to be human.
Yeah, a innovator in humanity itself.
So speaking of that, we know the new Star Trek show is coming out. What's it called?
Discovery
Discovery.
comes out in the fall, right?
Spend 30 seconds.
Yep,
What are your
September.
thoughts? 30 seconds.
I wasn't sure how I felt about it until I saw the trailer, and it looks like they put a lot of thought and effort into it because you can't half-ass Star Trek.
No.
All right.
Anything like that, you can't half-ass.
So okay, that's basically the way to put it.
I think it looks great. I don't like the way that the cast and crew are marketing it, but I love the show, and it's promising that they actually greenlit more episodes already. But the cast and crew themselves, I'm actually friends with a couple of them. One of them being Neville Page, who did a lot of the artwork for it. He was posting on Facebook, for instance, like, hey, guess what, white people? This show isn't for you. And he's like, because black woman power and stuff like that. So that kind
Really?
of so that kind
That's
of
a big
marketing.
screw
By
up.
the way, Neville, you and me had this discussion personally, but besides that, but the way the cast and crew are doing that, sure, that's an issue. But I think the show as a whole looks fantastic.
Yeah, I think so, too.
It does
I just
look
wish
wonderful.
they wouldn't punch that kind of crap through.
Enterprise
Star Trek.
Enterprise
Yeah.
ruined my introduction to Star Trek, so I'm not going to watch it.
And I don't mean
unfortunately,
like the PC stuff, but more just
But,
like them saying that.
let's segue.
I get what you're saying,
Let's
Scott.
segue into shows that nobody talks about that we like that they should talk about.
Okay, I got one.
I got 2.
I got 4.
Justin.
Yeah, because I'm the shortest one, right? Honestly, I think the show that I don't think a lot of people are talking about, like a lot of people watch AMC for The Walking Dead, but a show that they don't watch that I think people need to watch more is Preacher.
I have 3 now.
Because Preacher, I read the comics. Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon. Rest in peace, Steve Dillon, because he did die earlier this year, and he did the artwork for it. And
I've heard good things.
And the show is.
But you think it's underappreciated?
I believe so, because a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people are talking about it, but it's a great show. It's very different than what you would normally see on TV. It definitely pushes a lot of boundaries. And granted, if you're a fan of the comic, it does deviate quite a bit from the source material, but as someone who read and loves the source material, it is still very entertaining, and the casting for it is perfect.
Awesome. Scott.
Okay, I got 2 of them. One was canceled, and I am determined to campaign for Amazon, please pick this up, or Netflix, somebody. It was a show that came out a couple years ago called The River. The River was a found footage. It was from the Steven Spielberg teamed up with the producer of Paranormal Activity and decided to make a show where they go onto the Amazon, and every episode was a different found footage theme, but it had an overarching story. It had Bruce Greenwood. Great show. It was only 8 episodes, and it got canceled, even though it had really, really strong viewer base. It averaged somewhere around, I want to say, 8 million viewers, and they still canned it. But each one had a different supernatural theme. They did zombies one episode. They did like spiritual possession.
But what was this on, like actual television?
Yeah, ABC.
Get out of here.
Yeah, ABC. I have the season, I guess the whole show, technically. I have it at home, and it's great. And they didn't follow found footage tropes where it was a dude walking around shaking the camera. It was all based on, like, CCTV footage and things like that. So if it was where a camera could be placed, they did it. And they teamed up with a bunch of directors. Like I said, Steven Spielberg oversaw the show. They got the guy who directed Nonstop and movies like that. They got directors who normally wouldn't work in those genres to do it. And it was a really clever test. And I think that show deserves a lot more credit. But the other show is actually still a popular show, which Justin and I can butt heads all we want on it, The Strain on FX. The Strain is a great show.
What season is it on?
No, it's not.
4. It's on their final season.
These are lies.
Hey, I gave you your time to talk, sir. But no, it's on its 4th and final season. It is FX's second most popular show.
Only God knows why.
But it's a great show, and it's a progression of a vampiric apocalypse. I love the show. Everyone I know except for Justin loves the show who's watched it.
Can I say why I don't like it? Okay, the reason I don't like it is because it is pretty much a rejected Blade 2 script by Guillermo del Toro, which, if you haven't seen Blade 2, is about a vampire virus, and I didn't realize that until they actually had their own Daywalker on Strain 2, which might as well be Blade.
And he was cooler than Blade.
But
that's it's
final
still
thoughts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is that I love The Strain. It is my second favorite show to Doctor Who. I love it that much. So I personally think that it deserves a lot more audience than it gets. And it gets a lot of audience. It's going toe-to-toe with Game of Thrones right now.
Speaking of which, make sure you watch Scott's Strain reviews on MP27 Reviews.
They are actually one of my most popular reviews. I have an audience. Even The Strain themselves follow it, I found out. Like the
Very
people
nice.
behind
Very
it.
nice, my dude.
We love you.
That's
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah,
All right.
they actually follow it,
Respect.
and sometimes they tweet it out and stuff. They love it.
Quickly, Ben, what do you got?
All right, well, let me just say I don't like found footage, and that's just because it plays into the entire idea of bad things can happen to me, and people are going to watch
Before
and
you
care.
continue, what are your thoughts on Cloverfield?
Oh, don't! We have gotten into this debate.
we're not getting
son.
into it.
No.
We're
I
not
will
getting-
rain down
No,
fire
we're not
on
getting
you,
into
you
this
son
today.
of a mother's lover.
Ben,
Continue.
pick a show.
So I have three ones I enjoy very much. The first of which is Lucifer.
Lucifer.
Yes. It's great. Basically, it's an adaptation of what happens when Lucifer decides, I'm tired of hell. I'm going to go to Earth. And I'm bored. And I got really into the show, and he helps a cop solve murders, and he always makes jokes like, go to hell. Oh, I'll see you there soon. It's okay.
Oh, I've seen that.
Right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, totally.
The best part about this, I found out down the road after I had gotten into the show, is he's part of the DC universe.
Actually, he's part of the Vertigo universe, which is owned by DC Comics.
So-
And there is a story where, if I may, in the Sandman comics, which is written by the fantastic Neil Gaiman, where he gives the keys to hell to the Sandman, and that starts off his adventures on Earth.
See, the best thing about that is every time I'm watching the show now, in addition to its great storyline, is I'm thinking Batman could show up, Batman could show up, Batman could show up.
I may say, more likely, John Constantine could show up
it's even
because
better.
they exist in the Vertigo universe.
Yes.
If John Constantine shows up, I will lose my mind, which gives me another show I would like to talk about, but later.
So the other two shows I really enjoy that no one really talks about are Netflix shows. The first of which is called The Last Kingdom. And basically the entire premise is it's this kid. He's lordling. He is one of the children of a lord of England. And this is when Vikings come and they start taking over the entirety of the island.
Wasn't that on BBC?
It might have been. I just know it's on Netflix.
I'm pretty sure it was on BBC, but
Well,
continue.
Either way, continuing. Then he goes and grows up with the Vikings, and he has a Viking family, and he loves his family. And then something horrible happens, and so he has a combination of trying to avenge his Viking family and reclaim his lordship in England. It's an amazing show. You need to watch it. The other one on Netflix that I really enjoy is the Castlevania anime series.
Yes.
So Netflix, for whatever god unknown reason, they are doing anime right. If you are on Netflix and you see an anime picture with the Netflix symbol on it, watch it. It's great. Magica Madoka, Little Witch Academy, anything. It's great. But Castlevania, it's great because I watched the entire season.
It's only 4 episodes.
It's 4 episodes!
Which equals out to about 2 hours.
I got to the end and I went, no! That was verbal. I didn't think that. I said that by myself in my basement.
I've heard they are going to expand it in season 2.
Better. If you look at the viewer base, it has 5 stars. It has a few thousand people who've watched it. Oh my goodness.
It's so good.
Lucifer and Netflix backed shows.
By the way,
except for Hemlock Grove. I did not get into that. That's when they were trying things out. They try to copy HBO.
I've heard generally good things about it.
The first season's rough. It's
I
like,
could see that.
It's like watching CSI for the first time.
By the way, Ben, the guy who's the lead in Lucifer, he was tapped to play the 13th Doctor, allegedly.
Get out of here.
We had such a better option.
We're not going to get
Let's
into it.
not get into that.
We'll be right back after this. Thank you guys for discussing your TV shows. And here are some commercials that don't exist that we're going to do later on.
Now that you have your white friend, remember the things you can do with your white friend, like drink beers no one's heard about and taste horrible. I'm pretentious! Yes! And remember, no matter what you say, make sure all your comments are very neutral and no one can take sides or identify you with a side. That way, everything is easy. You can flip-flop between sides. I don't want to offend people. That's okay, because according to the First Amendment right, you can offend anybody you want. You can say whatever you want, and it's their right to be offended. Remember, your free speech is nothing to take for granted. What?
Welcome back to GSTalks. That is very inappropriate. Howdy y'all, how you doing? We are jamming here at the studio, GSTV Studios that is. Make sure you like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And produce it reviews, home use it, and Doctor Who with that magical hair.
Shattered Time.
Time. Now,
Good hair, Ben.
San Diego Comic-Con. Hey guys, disclaimer: we're gonna talk about superheroes.
Oh boy, here we go.
All right,
Also,
all right.
with San Diego Comic-Con, one thing broke
Oh
my
wait,
heart.
hang on. You're listening to Mega Neko Milkshake. So,
Milkshake brings
no,
the boys
not
to
that
the
yard.
Me like it. It's better than
I'm
yours.
sorry, Mega
I'm
Neko.
right. You're better than yours.
Proper
We
Mega
can't
Neko.
hear it, so
we don't know what's
we're
going
just
on.
They can't hear
spitting it
anything.
off.
All right, so,
So, can I lay a few ground rules real quick?
yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, no arguing ethos, no arguing anything that any fan base has done, and if you're going to bring up any current superhero movie, anyone else can put up 10 fingers and count you down, and you must shut up. I mean, mid-word... Agreed.
Agreed.
Sure.
Agreed.
Perfect.
All right, so let me start this off What were you gonna say?
I was going to say one thing broke my heart at San Diego Comic-Con. They were supposed to release the trailer for God Particle / Cloverfield 3, and they delayed it to February 2nd.
It's because you didn't hang out with me.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, that's fair. We can't knock Scott for liking Cloverfield.
Well, 10 Cloverfield Lane was incredible. And
Fantastic.
Haven't
won
seen it.
awards.
You should. It's really good.
Don't have time.
Lies.
It's like an hour and 40 minutes, sir.
All right,
I'm so wearing my work uniform.
So,
Lazy.
you guys more so than me enjoy comics.
Very much
I've
so.
had my fair share of comics.
I
It's
mean,
been a
y'all.
while. Anyways, did you guys see anything that made you kind of like happy during Comic Con?
Yes.
There's one thing in particular
Go ahead,
that
Justin.
I really enjoyed because there is a lot of trailers. You know, there was Marvel, DC, whatever. And honestly, the trailer that made me the most excited was the new Justice League trailer. Because they released one a few months back, which, was okay. It wasn't, something like, oh, this is awesome. It was like, okay, sweet, they're making a Justice League movie. But this one, for some reason, was very, I got more excited about it. It showed more of the world and what is going to happen. It introduced the villain, Steppenwolf, but did not show his face, which was sneaky and awesome.
Smart.
And it kind of showed more as Flash as the comic relief, which he generally is
He is.
in
That's
the
his
league.
job.
And everyone, I know a lot of people were worried about Ezra Miller being the Flash, but honestly, I'm really liking him as the Flash right now. And I'm just very excited. And in the same month, Thor Ragnarok's going to be coming out alongside Justice League. And
That looks
honestly,
good.
it does look good.
Talks. He
Yeah,
talks.
I saw that in the trailer.
I am excited about Thor Ragnarok, but honestly, if I had to choose, I'm gonna go see Justice
I was
League
gonna
because
say-
I'm always gonna be more of a DC guy than I am a Marvel guy.
I have
That's
to
just the
chime
way it
in
is.
there and say I thought Thor Ragnarok looked awful. I think
come on.
Justice League looks leagues above what it was when we saw the first trailer. Because when we saw the first trailer, I was like, "Oh, cool! Batman versus Superman 2, Dawn of Justice returns."
Except there's no Superman.
is a
Except
thing.
there's no Superman
I know, but it
yet.
still looks the exact
Yet.
same.
Hold on. This goes back to what I was saying earlier. If you know the history, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we all
know what's
But
gonna
for
happen.
the basic audience who don't read the comic
But,
books, don't know what's going to happen.
Well, even
Go
in the
wiki
trailer,
it.
they imply that somebody shows up at the end of the trailer, and we're just like, we all know who it is.
But I have to say,
Supergirl.
I mean, think
No.
about it. You have the picture of the Justice League. Someone's got to be holding the camera.
but I have to say,
And still no Green
I'm
Lantern.
Alfred's
sorry.
holding the
I
camera.
think Thor Ragnarok looks awful.
I disagree.
Oh, okay.
I
I
highly
have to
disagree.
put on record before Scott continues is that Scott has a history for not liking almost any Marvel
Except
movie
Batman.
that's
He
come
likes
out.
Ant-Man. He likes Ant-Man.
I'm sorry, but actually, if you tally through, I like more than I dislike. It's just everybody. It's easiest amongst the fan community to say you just are a hater when they have any form of criticism
You-
towards something that
You
relates
do
to comic
hate
books.
quite a
You
bit,
do hate,
though,
like,
Scott.
Yes, but
90%.
I'm
I
just
could go
saying.
the opposite direction and say everybody's just drunk off that Kool-Aid and gotta say it's good because Marvel's logo's
I don't
there.
think the new Spider-Man movie was that
Yeah,
good.
that was awful. But
It-
that
it
I don't
was
think
wasn't
awful.
that
I didn't think
great.
it was bad. I didn't think it was good.
Because
either.
okay, this is from someone who actually likes a lot of the Marvel stuff.
I have not. I've heard very mixed
You're not
reviews.
missing much.
I won't spoil anything, but honestly, it's almost my least favorite Marvel movie because all we got was the same stuff we got from every other Spider-Man movie. Great power, great
and
responsibility.
every other Marvel movie.
Okay,
at
I'm
this
sorry,
point.
the
And
only-
Iron Man: Homecoming.
The only thing I have to ask about Homecoming is 3 questions. One, is Gwen Stacy in it?
No.
Then all my other questions are null and void because this is just a classic Spider-Man movie.
Exactly. It's
that
just,
does disappoint me because I love Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy.
We-
She was amazing.
Yeah.
See, Gwen Stacy is the epitome of who what
Everyone
Spider-Man
hates Mary
makes.
Jane.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead and put the clock on me. I'm going to tangent off to Spider-Man for a little bit.
Gotcha.
But Gwen Stacy is the one that causes him to become Spider-Man. I mean, after a great girlfriend who supports him and helps him be a person, he goes to the highly controlling, high-maintenance Mary Jane for the rest of his life. End.
Beautiful.
Okay, but now it's my turn.
Let's quickly, like 10 seconds on Spider-Man.
Okay. I really like him with Mary Jane because they made a comic called Spider-Man Renew Your Vows where they have a kid and they have a family, and it's very beautifully written about Spider-Man trying to be a family man and being a superhero, and I think that deserves credit.
All right, fair enough. All right, so what we were talking about before. Now you said DC. You probably more DC at this point.
Actually, I think the DC movies are better at this point than the Marvel movies.
Okay.
The director's cut
The
is
director's
pretty
cut-
freaking awesome.
What everyone else saw in theaters.
I'm sorry, but the director's cut is fantastic.
I'm not talking about
It is.
that. All right.
Justin and I are in the same camp on that.
We are.
And the Suicide Squad extended is great.
It's
And-
better, but not great.
Anyway, well, if I can throw my 2 cents.
Sure,
in.
go ahead, Ben.
The whole Marvel versus
No, you're fine.
No, it's just a quick thing. But the whole Marvel versus DC thing, and going back to Thor Ragnarok, DC is still trying to make themselves known. Think about the early Iron Mans. It was Iron Man! Yep, that's Iron Man. Yep, that's different, but it's good. That's Iron Man. DC is still trying to get there. On the other side, Marvel's hit a point now where they need to have their own thing, you know? And part of what Scott was saying about how he didn't like Ragnarok, it reflects too much Guardians of the Galaxy.
Thank you.
Which is their biggest seller.
That's just what the trailer seems to make us seem like. It
Yes,
could be
but my
different.
concern, which has been confirmed by a lot of people, is that Marvel is kind of just doing the same thing over and over again. If you look at a lot of the comment section of their videos, it's a lot of people saying, this is the same movie over and over again. Doctor Strange, look at all of them.
Well, okay, there's a reason for this, though, and because it's all leading into Infinity War, Doctor Strange, the Time Stone, Guardians of the Galaxy, and dealing with Thanos, and with Thor dealing with more intergalactic stuff. It's all leading up to Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet.
So that works out for Marvel. If they can lead up to Infinity War, it'd be great. And the same thing could be said for DC when they need to get to the Black Lantern Corps. They need to all lead up to the same thing, which is why we might see the same movie for a couple of years, but it all leads into the penultimate thing we're looking for.
True, I agree with you, but my argument that I can give is that Marvel for a while was doing something different that felt familiar, and that was its strength, is it all kind of worked together, and now to me it just feels like old hat. I'm hyped for Infinity War. I'm tired of being told I'm just a Marvel hater. I'm hyped.
Before you get to that, have you guys seen the leaked trailer?
I have seen the leak trailer.
I have
For
to.
which one?
Infinity War.
I'm sorry. So, out of everyone here at GSTV Studios, I have tried to become a doctor, so I don't watch TV or
Don't
go
mind me.
on the
I
internet
gotta
anymore.
plug in the stupid thing. 1 sec. Keep talking, guys.
But
Keep
yeah,
talking, Ben.
so it's not that I don't care. It's that I have reached a point in my life where I'm too busy. So everything I know, they're telling me right now. So I'm right with you, viewers.
I have to say I'm hyped for Infinity War, but my concern is that the movies, Marvel figured out they are internet meme the movie.
They are internet meme the movie.
So Marvel has said, okay, everything is Iron Man or everything is an internet meme or everything is both. Spider-Man Homecoming and Thor Ragnarok to me are just complete manifestations of that, and Doctor Strange even is a manifestation of that. Doctor Strange was awful, I'm sorry, but I have to say I'm still hyped. I don't like being labeled as a Marvel hater, but when I can't help but not enjoy myself at any of them because it's like, I'm sorry, I've paid for Iron Man 3 every time.
All right, then I do have a question for you, Scott.
Sure.
Because we actually have not talked about this.
Sure.
What do you think of the Black Panther trailer?
I thought Black Panther trailer is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think it
All
looks good,
right.
too.
See, I want to support
Sweet.
Black Panther. I'm very into it because with everything socially going on, with everything, and how we've all talked behind the scenes here,
Yeah.
we all want everyone to identify with heroes who embody their own thing instead of other heroes who are being bastardized or forced into different
Like
roles.
how we talked with Doctor Who.
Exactly. Black Panther, he is a king, he is a superhero, he is the richest man in the world. He is his
Yup.
own hero that no one talks about because everyone's forgotten about him, more or less.
Unless you read comics.
Unless you read the comics.
And Black Panther is one of those movies because the two movies I wanted to see out of Marvel was Doctor Strange and Black Panther. I already got Doctor Strange, despite what you think about it. I still enjoyed
liked
it.
it.
But Black Panther is going to be something else entirely.
Oh, bet in a ditch, Cumberhatch, I love you.
I think Black Panther looks great. I think the tonality of it, that mysterious, almost creepy factor to Black Panther, when Andy Serkis is talking about Black Panther, it just, to me, that hypes me. I like that. It's something different, and that's what I praised Ant-Man about in my reviews. It was something different. I don't want the same.
So, I don't know when the release dates are. When's Justice League coming out?
Justice League and Thor Ragnarok come out in November of this year.
And then Infinity War the year after.
Infinity War comes out in May of next
So
year.
I was kind of hoping that they would line up and see who wins against who.
No, I don't
That would
think...
be movie box office nightmare.
It would be because everyone would want to see both, and you wouldn't see true box office. What you would see is fanboys versus fanboys.
So-
It's
No one
not
wants
good
that.
I'm going to
business.
make a safe bet and say Thor is going to fall off on the box office rather than Justice
Thor,
League.
every
It's
Thor's
not.
fallen off.
It's not because if you okay, so I'm not very involved in TV, but I'm very involved in the meme community. 9gag. So, if you look at 9gag right now, it's really showing you have Iron Man versus Captain America versus the Thor team, and people have been associating it with Pokemon Go. Mystic versus Valor versus Instinct, and Thor is Instinct, and
But
so people
Everyone forgot Thor: The Dark World came out.
they did.
That's
but
because they spent so much. There was such a big gap.
there was, but with Thor Ragnarok, the fan club or the viewership as a whole is using Thor Ragnarok as a comic relief from the rest of the Marvel universe, which is tying into their marketing. If you think about it, like I said, it's very 80s. It's very Guardians of the Galaxy. It's because they're using it to water down the intensity
Wasn't
of
Spider-Man
Thor.
supposed to do that?
It was, but it wasn't. Sony still kind of owns it, so they still have a say, so they
Yeah.
can't really use it in the MCU.
Yeah.
That
and
is a very
people-
complicated thing.
Yeah, and people except for fanboys really didn't like Spider-Man
I
Homecoming.
liked it. I thought it was a good teen film.
It was okay. It
Chris,
was.
you and me have butted heads on this
mediocre.
multiple
Different.
times.
I mean, obviously, it's not my favorite Spider-Man. Not by close. Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 1.
first off,
Tobey
you,
Maguire.
Spider-Man 2 sucks.
Whoa! Whoa! Language!
guy.
35-24. Censor.
Oh, I made you censor it. I'm sorry, but I could go for hours about Spider-Man 2 is a awful
And
movie.
that's why you have a review channel. I'm putting the seconds up.
I'm saying, do it.
Oh, yeah.
I already said
You
it.
already said it.
It
You already said it,
sucks.
Ben. We're good.
All right.
We're good, Ben.
Anyways, moving on from Spider-Man.
I just want to say the only one of the Raimi trilogy I like is 1. I thought 2 was terrible and 3 was awful.
A lot of people like 3 now, apparently.
Why?
I don't know.
It's the comic book fandom. They have to just say they like it
Two,
because there's a superhero.
One,
All
done.
right. What else did you guys see at Comic-Con that piqued your interest?
The defe-
Besides comic book zero stuff, there had to be something else. Besides that.
Honestly, it's Comic-Con. That's all you're gonna get,
Like,
dude.
there's, like,
Doctor Who Twice Upon a Time trailer because they released the Christmas special trailer for Capaldi's last episode, and it was spectacular because they're bringing in the first Doctor.
I mean, honestly, on top of everything else at Comic-Con, not just the comics and trailers released, I really like the people there. Say what you will about all the video games that have come out. Say what you will about everything that's coming out. Everything is very evenly distributed. There was a lot of Andromeda stuff from Mass Effect, even though that had poor reviews. There was a lot of stuff from Ark, even though no one's even heard of Ark in years. A lot
Well, I'm
of
gonna say,
Lara Croft
damn. I'm
stuff.
gonna say, they still come out with content for Ark.
They don't, but that's the thing. The thing I love about
the community
Comic-Con,
stays true. to
the
it.
community is always strong. You saw so many bronies there, and you went, "Oh, I'm so impressed by your costume, but why?" Oh
That's why they have BronyCon.
But
They
like,
do have
I was
Brony
excited
Con.
because one of my favorite TV shows is actually making a movie, and you're gonna hate me for this, but Psych the movie's coming out.
Psych the movie. Okay, I'm excited about that because I love Psych.
Right?
I've only watched the first few
You have to
episodes
skip
in
the first
season
few
1.
episodes of season
I hear season 1's really rough, but beyond season
Beyond
1 is
it's
really
amazing.
good.
Psych is what The Mentalist should have been.
Ouch.
No, don't be wrong. I love The Mentalist.
I
But
enjoyed that show.
The way they started, you're like, oh, murder. Oh. But Psych just goes,
Your facial expressions are magical.
I'm
Ben.
I'm sorry, but I hate Psych. I think it's just
Okay.
one
It's
giant
not
internet.
dark.
game.
It's not dark enough
I'm
for
sorry, I'm
Scott.
sorry. Give me your three.
I just
top
think the
reasons.
storytelling
10
is poor.
seconds.
Poor storytelling. What's
Poor
the other two?
storytelling, poor acting. I think it's what you would call network TV acting.
Okay, you have one more.
So it distances me. I think they don't take their property serious enough.
One more.
No, that's
Those
really
two.
my issues.
Those are what I think about Cloverfield.
Psych is not meant to be taken seriously.
Yes, but that's my
Cold-blooded.
point. Is that I think shows like that generally are just poorly done.
So me and Ben are gonna love it. Fist bump, man.
I'm sorry, CSI Miami is not good. CSI is
agree.
great, but
I'll
CSI
agree.
Miami
I really
is
like
not.
CSI New York, believe it or not. Gary Sinise.
What's the one with LL Cool J?
That's NCIS LA.
I like that one.
And see, that goes back
Chris
to what,
O'Donnell, man.
that goes back to
Right?
a lot of
Robin.
TV shows and what we said in the last podcast and what we're saying about these movies now. They are very audience driven. I love Psych. I see nothing wrong with Psych. You do. You love Cloverfield. It actually makes me physically ill just because of the shaky cam. I want to vomit. I can't enjoy the movie. I can't do it.
At least it's not a load of high shot.
Yeah, but is there a telephoto lens? For those of you who don't know, those are Scott's two favorite things to say during filming: is high to low shot
No,
and
no, no,
telephoto
and also
lens.
fix it in post.
Fix it in post.
Fix it in
That's
post.
you
That's something
guys,
you
Okay,
should
to be
not
never
fair, we
say.
say that a lot.
We do. Say
We
that.
all say that on
Okay.
set.
Here, quick tangent. We're gonna say each other's favorite things to say during set in a circle because it's gonna be funny. I haven't worked with Justin, so I don't know. But Scott's favorite is ooh, and Chris's favorite is B-roll. Justin,
I can't say it on here.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
You know what I'm
I
gonna
know.
say,
We'll
Chris.
say after show.
Yeah.
Scott, your one of your favorite things that you know.
I agree with him with that. Mine is ooh, because I'll just look at a shot and go ooh.
I love when you say read a book.
I say read a book to you all the
I
time.
know, but like you say it on set a lot.
I also do say, y'all need church.
Y'all need.
Y'all need Jesus.
Justin's other one is I am not saying all of that.
I actually do say that quite a bit because Scott writes some
we're
BS
not
lines.
gonna get into
Well, that
this.
makes
But
my.
anyways, let's get back to Comic Con, y'all.
Oh.
We'll talk later.
We'll talk later.
We'll talk later. About
So like,
Tangents.
what else at Comic Con, Scott? Did you see that you like besides Doctor Who and all that stuff? Anything
That
else?
was pretty much it.
Okay.
I thought this was one of the weakest Comic Cons. Go ahead.
My favorite thing from every con ever.
he's gonna do something. Wow! What the hell?
What the heck was that?
It's something that people do at cons. It's like it was a meme that they kind of turned into videos. And
Did I kick you? I'm so sorry.
you did, but I know you didn't do it on purpose, so it's fine. It's something stupid. Like I saw at one con where it's like one Spider-Man did it, and then another dude dressed as Spider-Man do it. Like there's like 8 different Spider people like doing it. Just
do it. Yeah.
There was a train of Halos. A train of Master Chief.
yes, I saw that.
How about this? Since we're still on topic and we still got a few minutes to kill before we wrap things up, what are some of the things that if we could go to Comic Con that we would enjoy doing? Like, I know the whole show floor. I don't know what is down
I've
there.
been to Emerald City Comic Con for the past couple of years here in Seattle, and honestly, I enjoy the comics. I enjoy the panels. I go see celebrity guys. I'm a little bit eclectic on everything, but I've never been to San Diego, which is the biggest con in the country. So depending on what I knew was coming out that year, I'd have to pick, like, say, like Justice League is coming out later this year. I think I would prioritize that DC panel over like seeing Marvel and what they're doing. You know,
is it crowded? It's always pretty crowded.
San Diego sells out within minutes.
But I'm talking about Seattle in general.
Seattle is crowded, and that has sold out in the past couple of years, and it's only going to get bigger. So
Seattle, one of my personal favorite things is just meeting the celebrity guests and talking to them because
Ric Flair.
I got to meet Ric Flair last year because he was promoting a comic that was about the wrestling industry, and I've actually finished reading it a couple weeks ago, and it's actually really good.
JDF.
Jason David Frank, he was promoting. Obviously, he does it because he did Power Ranger stuff, but he's also doing Green Ranger. But he's also doing a web series based on the Valiant comics, Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe, as a character called Bloodshot. And I'm really there hasn't been a release date for it. Valiant is probably my favorite comic book company. It's like the 3rd largest indie company in the world right now, and they're making the web show about it to introduce everyone to their universe.
Awesome. Real quick, 30 seconds. Anyone want to say anything else about Comic-Con?
I got to say, my favorite thing would be the fandoms. If anything, if I went to any con, it would have to be something with Supernatural. I love those guys. They
They do have a Supernatural con every year
at
Northwest.
My coworkers actually met them as pictures with them. They're great. That's one of the shows that I wanted to actually promote. It's great.
I still need to catch up. I'm still like stuck on season 4.
Season 1 through 5 are
Years
great.
ago.
Beyond that is subjective.
Okay, hold on. 1 through 5 is amazing. 6 and 7 are rough, and then after that, if you can accept the new storyline, amazing. Just like 1 through 5.
6 was garbage.
No spoilers alert. No spoilers.
6 was garbage.
No spoilers. So 1 through 5, they had the strong storyline. 6 and 7, they were trying to keep it going. And
6
then 8,
was crap.
And then 8, they found themselves again, and they're really running with it. They've always kept their ethos
I'm not a
strong, their
Supernatural
history
fan.
strong.
I love it.
The lore strong.
I'll take your word
Who's
for it.
the guy who plays the Angel?
Castiel, Misha
He's
Collins.
funny.
Misha, I love Misha. He's a great guy, apparently.
I've heard good things. I heard he's a really dope dude.
Like, out of all of them, the worst actor is whoever plays Bobby, but he's still great to his fans.
I can't remember his name to save my life right now.
He
But
died
I know.
off, so I stopped listening.
Well,
Yeah,
we're going to cut off right there. Sadly to say, we're running out of time. We got like another 2 minutes, so I got to wrap that up. So, Scott, Doctor Who is hot right now.
Oh, it is.
Doctor Who Shadow Time. I got to say that, otherwise I'm going to get sued by BBC.
BBC doesn't care.
Doctor Who.
They don't
Shattered
care
Time,
about
what
us.
We're working on. So proud of it. Can't
so you and
wait
Ben,
for everyone
Rachel,
to see it.
Sam, all those people, keep going.
And I
Season's
wrote
almost
an
wrapped up.
episode.
He
Yep,
wrote an
we're almost
episode.
wrapped.
I'm just there. After
Stand there
that,
and
3
look
weeks
pretty.
is up. After the show wraps up, me and Ben are going to be picking it back up on Holmes University 5.
Justin, fool.
I'm Ben.
My name
That's
is
Justin.
Justin.
Keep doing that.
You word I can't say. You beep,
Hey!
mother beep.
Hey, with these things on, everything echoes, so I can't hear myself think.
Now, I wonder, is he hinting at the future? No, he's not.
No.
Justin's on.
Justin,
This
you
whole-
and I
I was gonna say, forget the fact that I make the freaking thing. So we're all just going there. As I'm like,
Scott actually writes everything for
Just
Holmes,
so everyone knows, Scott's completely dependent on us. Without us, he is nothing.
He is nothing.
you know I can regenerate you, right?
But are you going to?
All right, let's wrap it up there. Guys, I
wouldn't
want to
push
thank you
my
coming
luck,
out
Ben.
for doing this and knocking out a few podcasts. We had fun, we had laughs, we had angry times, and BBC all together. Now, so M27 reviews, Holmes University 5,
Absolutely.
Justin, Ben, Doctor Who, and make sure you like and subscribe to GS Talks, GS TV Studios, and then GS Talks, the show that this is. So be sure you do that, guys. Have a good night, and we'll see you next time.
Later.
Spider-Man!